Rachael Kirkconnell, the winner of Bachelor Season 25, is coming out after Matt James ended their relationship. She claims that the producers made her feel inadequate by not getting engaged at the end of their season, which demonstrates their lack of concern for the cast. The Bachelor finale in 2021 revealed that Matt and Rachael had left together in a relationship rather than engaged. Rachael's history of racial insensitivity caused them to break up before the finale, although they reconciled a few months later. But Rachael was taken by surprise when Matt ended their relationship in January 2025. Rachael claimed on the Call Her Daddy podcast that the Bachelor producers made her feel inadequate and that the season was a waste since she and Matt were unable to get engaged. Rachael clarified that she wasn't disappointed when Matt told her he couldn't pop the question, but she was unsure whether he still desired to be with her. Then he said, "I still want to be with you," Rachael recalled. "I was thrilled to say, I want to try this out in the real world, but as we were finishing up our last scenes, the other people felt as though they were really demolishing the set. They were finished. They said it was a waste of a season, and I felt inadequate since they didn't end up getting engaged." Matt started the show as the first Black Bachelor. However, his season has always been lambasted for its massive failures. Matt's season was one of the most contentious because of the emphasis on the female drama, the claims of racism outside the program, and the absence of an engagement. Rachael had previously engaged in racially offensive behavior, including attending a college party with an antebellum South theme and loving images of the Confederate flag on social media. According to Matt, she didn't think she knew what it meant to be Black in America, therefore he ended their relationship. But everyone was taken aback when Matt and Rachael reconciled and remained together for 4 years following their finale. One of the longest Bachelor partnerships ever. Rachael's recent admission that the producers made her feel inadequate and that the season was a waste because she and Matt didn't get engaged, however, is telling. They had their own goals, therefore they didn't care that Matt and Rachael would benefit more from ending their relationship. It is evident that they didn't appreciate or care about Matt and Rachael's relationship because they would be dismantling the set while they were still filming their last scenes together. The producers of The Bachelor have always faced criticism for their disregard for the participants and the lead. By emphasizing their shortcomings and exploiting them as a circus for ratings, they have taken advantage of and degraded the people on the show. However, it shouldn't have been seen as a failure at all because Matt's choice to not pop the question was actually more sensible than rushing into an engagement. At the moment, that was what was best for both him and Rachael. The way the Bachelor producers handle their casts needs to be improved. Their disregard for the welfare of the participants and the lead is troubling. Because the show didn't finish the way they had hoped, Rachael shouldn't have been made to feel like a failure or a waste of time. With Grant Ellis' season currently airing, hopefully the Bachelor producers have learned from their errors and will perform better. Rachael Kirkconnell's journey on The Bachelor was a roller coaster ride of drama, heartbreak, and personal growth. But behind the scenes, there was a deeper, more sinister story. In an exclusive interview with a major media outlet, Rachael opened up about her experience on the show, revealing how the producers manipulated her emotions, made her feel like a failure, and ultimately confirmed her suspicions. The Bachelor franchise did not care about the well-being of its cast. What was supposed to be a magical and life-changing experience turned into a cautionary tale for anyone considering joining the show. Rachael, like many contestants before her, came to The Bachelor with a dream of finding love. She had watched the show for years, seeing women fall in love with charismatic leads, experiencing life-changing adventures, and receiving the fairy tale proposal in the end. She hoped that she could be the one to find happiness in the arms of the man she was meant to be with. But when Rachael made it onto Matt James' season as a contestant, reality set in quickly, and it was far from the dream she had imagined. From the beginning, Rachael was thrust into a whirlwind of competition, catty drama, and manufactured conflict. The producers encouraged tension between the women, creating moments that were meant to draw out conflict and keep viewers engaged. They fed into the drama, urging contestants to act out or say certain things to ensure the cameras had something to capture. One of the most significant aspects of Rachael's experience was the emotional manipulation she claims she endured. Rachael explained how the producers continuously pushed her to open up about her personal life and vulnerabilities, only to later twist her words and use them against her in the editing room. She recalled being asked to talk about past relationships and how, at times, the producers would push her to discuss topics that made her uncomfortable. At one point, they encouraged her to confront other women in the house about perceived issues, stirring unnecessary conflict. They wanted me to have this perfect narrative, and when I couldn't fit into that box, they made me feel like I wasn't good enough, Rachael admitted in the interview. There were moments when I was told that I wasn't doing enough to make good television. It was like no matter what I did, it was never enough to satisfy their narrative. I started to feel like a failure. As the season progressed, Rachael began to lose sight of why she had come on the show in the first place. She had entered the competition hoping to find love with Matt James, but the constant pressure from producers and the drama surrounding her made it hard to maintain focus on her connection with him. She was encouraged to perform for the cameras, to show sides of herself that she didn't recognize in order to create a compelling storyline. The producers pushed her to react in certain ways, to fight for Matt's attention, and to ultimately buy into the idea that this was her one and only chance to find happiness. The racial controversy. One of the most publicized aspects of Rachael's time on The Bachelor was the racial controversy that erupted after old photos surfaced of her attending an antebellum-themed party. While Rachael initially stayed silent about the issue, the producers capitalized on the situation, forcing her to address the controversy publicly in a way that felt more like a scripted apology than a sincere expression of remorse. They told me how to handle it, what to say, and when to say it, Rachael recalled. It didn't feel like I was speaking from the heart. I was told to issue a statement, and then it was edited and pieced together in a way that didn't represent who I really was. It was humiliating. The producers' approach to the situation left Rachael feeling betrayed. Instead of supporting her through the turmoil, they seemed to exploit the scandal for ratings, placing Rachael in the middle of an uncomfortable and painful narrative that she felt was beyond her control. As the controversy grew, she felt increasingly isolated from the very people who were supposed to be there to guide and protect her. By the time Rachael reached the final stages of The Bachelor, she had grown exhausted, emotionally drained, and disillusioned with the process. The tension in the house, the constant manipulation, and the pressure to perform for the cameras left her feeling like a shell of her former self. The man she had initially believed could be her future, Matt James, was becoming more of a distant memory as their connection began to fade under the weight of the show's expectations. It wasn't about love anymore, Rachael said, her voice trembling as she recounted her feelings. It was about being who they wanted me to be on television. I was just a character in their story, not a real person with real feelings. The final straw came when Rachael was told by producers that she was not performing well enough in her interactions with Matt. She was told to try harder, to be more assertive in her pursuit of love. But Rachael had already begun to realize that no matter how hard she tried, it would never be enough. The show wasn't about her journey, it was about crafting a storyline, a narrative that would keep viewers glued to their screens.